What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So as you know, I'm still a big fan of Terra Luna Classic. And to be honest, it's still my largest gain by percentage by far. And I don't think anything will top that. Especially as Terra Luna Classic does grow, because I expect it to grow, we're going to see that percentage do nothing but rise. So when we look at everything, when we look at everything that I've done in the crypto space and investing in general, this is the largest gain that I've had by percentage in anything, and it will never be topped. I don't believe it will be, right? Because already to this point where we stand, it's around a 20,000% gain. At the highest point, it was a 70,000% gain. So we're seeing massive levels of a gain for me, and it honestly means a lot to me. So Terra Luna Classic, I believe, will have that level of success again. We will see it grow quite a bit, not the level to where people are gaining 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 100,000%. There may be a possibility, but we're not going to sit here and try and bank on that happening. Does that make sense? So what I want to talk about in this video is mainly around Terra Luna Classic, and honestly bringing up a topic that people do not like. 100% people do not like. I'm still going to bring it up anyways because I feel as though it is something that can bring back what we want, but trying to break it down to show that this could get to a point of recovery a lot sooner. Because we all know the Terra Luna Classic community is in shambles, right? And when I say that, I mean we don't really have a true direction on where it will go, use case wise, right? And all of the proposals, all of the people that are in these positions of power, I would say, may not be making the best decisions. Some better than others, but none really to get us to the promised land. None that's being adopted by everybody. If we had Do Kwon here, right, no matter how much some people don't like them, we would have probably 80 to 90% approval on anything that is said there, right? Unless he's like, hey, we're taking all your Luna away, then obviously that support's not going to be there. But if we found a way to gather everybody together, that support would all hover around one person. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But where we stand right now, we have really validators that are kind of controlling everything. And now we have to kind of adopt outside methods in order to see the burns, in order to see the support, in order to see building, in order to see all of these things. So the community not in the best spot right now. I still believe that the growth will be there based on the FOMO that we see within it, the hype, the attention, the popularity, the articles, all of those things that come with Terra Luna Classic. But when we look at Terra Luna Classic from a 10,000 foot view, you know, we kind of take all of that out of there and say, what's the way that we could possibly get back to a point where we could see the algorithm, we could see, you know, the repeg, we could see the things that we all wanted to see from the beginning. And there's two options, right? In my opinion, there's burning and there's a reverse split. Now, reverse split is something that everybody is like, no, absolutely not. I don't want to see it. I have 50 million coins, and if I do a reverse split, they're going to take at least 1 0 away from me, maybe even 2 zeros. And if they do that, then what am I going to do, right? I'm not going to be able to gain $50 million. Do you really need $50 million? And if that's the case, do you believe that you're going to get to that point of $50 million if we don't have something well established for these burns? Now, if we do both, where we have burning that's established, we get to a certain point, and then we hit the recovery phase where we're like, all right, this is the time to hit the switch. This is the time to do the reverse split. What happens then? Well, we get to a full recovery. We have the use case available. We have now a reserve as well, and it all starts to work out. So I want to explain this a little bit more. I've made videos on this in the past, talking about a reverse split, many different videos, and I kind of wanted to bring those up just so that you guys see it. But if you guys could, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Perry8K. You can do that. And don't forget about my link for Margex. If you guys want to start with that, you can definitely go ahead and do it. But I've made a couple of videos, reusing some of the thumbnails here. But reverse splits, honestly, aren't the worst thing in the world, right? You could see the videos that are here, and some of them got some major popularity where you see, 50,000, 40,000, 20,000, 10,000 and a couple of thousands of views that come with it. As you get closer and closer to this date, the views lessen and lessen. It's not about the views, it's more about the concept, right? So the point is I've made videos about this, and there have been a lot of people that do not like it, right? But then you also see the like to dislike ratio at 90+% for every single video that we have there. So I'm not saying that it's the best idea, but when you think about something that has kind of its last stand, right? You want to make sure you have something that's going to protect it, right? If you're in a zombie apocalypse, right? And you have all these different, you're trying to kill all these zombies and everything, and then you get to the last stand, you want to have like your best artillery. You want to have your best, weapons to protect yourself and the best line of defense. And I think that's kind of where we stand with Terra Luna Classic, where it's like, we saw that burning was the way, and being able to establish burning would get us to a point of full recovery, right? Get the supply down, and then we could see everything that's implemented the way that we want to see it implemented. But we couldn't burn because of the lack of support for those burns, and thinking that it's creating, a gap in volume, when that isn't the case, right? Without any type of burns, we still see that gap, right? And then with the increased burns, we see a less of a gap. It's not based on the burns there, to why we're seeing less volume. Binance is still doing the burns that they're doing, and hoping that we will also contribute to that, and finding a way to get exchanges to contribute to that. There's, like I said, two options to this, where we can get exchanges to decide to burn and really fight for that. So then we see the tens of millions or hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars that are involved in burning down the supply of Terra Luna Classic, or we can see the reverse split in a way. Now, if we decided to do a 10-to-1 reverse split, that would bring the overall supply that we have in Terra Luna Classic, right? If we go into Terra Luna Classic and we look at the overall supply, from 6.7 or 6.8 trillion down to 680 billion. This now puts us in line to get to maybe a $68 billion market cap. And if we get to a $68 billion market cap, that's a level of 10 cents at that point. Now, if we decide to do a 100-to-1 reverse split, we now bring it to a 68 billion coin supply rather than a 6.8 trillion coin supply. Now getting us in line with getting to $1 and then getting to $2. And as we can see burning, that can get us to another level, right? So if we see it get to 1 cent, right? 1 cent from here, we're taking away 1 0, 2 zeros. We're looking at a 100x. Who in their right mind wouldn't be happy with a 100x right now? A 100x would get us to that level of 1 cent. And now, if we reverse split, while we also see that 100x, we're now looking at $1. That now gets us to the ability to have a chance to repeg. But then we could also factor in the burns. If we have burns that are associated with that, and be able to, decrease that supply from 68 billion down to 60, down to 50, and so on and so forth, well, now we have a level to get to $2 and $3 and $5 and $10. And not only looking at a 100x to $1, but also now looking at a 200x to $2, a 300x to $3, 400x to $4. You get what I'm saying? So we can still see a ridiculous level of a return even with the reverse split. This is why I'm saying that it should be our last line of defense, and I think we honestly are approaching that point. If we get to this altcoin season and Terra Luna Classic does move to a ridiculous level but doesn't have those level of burns, at that point of hitting a 60 or $50 billion market cap, that is where we should decide, hey, reverse split is on the way. right? Because now we can see burns that are establishing, and hopefully we have that fully established, but burns are established outside community efforts. You also have burns from inside as you look at the taxes and maybe some exchange, taxes, if we can find a way to do that. And we find a way to get us to some of these levels to now we have that vision to fully repeg, to fully enable the algorithm. This is honestly could be our last line of defense. And you can tell me all you want, I'm not for reverse split. I totally understand. It creates negativity, and that negativity could create a drop in the overall price. But if we have prices that we hit without a true goal to get to, we are going to see those drops regardless, and they're going to be much more aggressive than if we had something in place. Think about this. If you knew that a stock was going to rise, right? Let's say you had something at 1 cent and you knew that a stock was going to rise and it was going to go all the way to a level of $1. That's 100x for you. But it had no purpose, right? It had no ability. It had no, business model, and they didn't really sell anything. And the only reason they're moving up to there is the level of popularity. What do you think would happen at that level of $1 that everybody wanted it to get to, right? It's going to drop drastically. I don't want to see that happen. I want to see the future of where this can go. But right now it's set up to where you get to a certain point and it all collapses. So we need much more than that. So that's what I'm trying to say here. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I've made plenty of videos on this. I understand reverse splits. I understand the negativity behind it, but I also understand the positivity that can come with it as well, especially with something like this, if we can implement so many other things with it. So guys, let me know what you think. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out any of the links that are down below. It does help out the channel. If you guys want to trade on Margex, feel free to check out that link for 100x leverage, up to 100x leverage, all the way down to 5x leverage. You can start trading with as little as $1. Honestly, I did it with 80 cents and I had a 5x leverage. So you can get the concept of leverage trading by utilizing that platform. And then once you become, I wouldn't say a professional, but once you become skilled at leverage trading, you can then start to invest more and make more money. Like if you look at, I can't really bring it up, but one of my plays in Jasmine Coin is up 1,200, 1,300% right now. So anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.